pitching, like in the box, like, I mean, when you play every single day, like your legs are toast sometimes when you get in the box. So the ability for him to be as consistent as he is remarkable.
I mean, the portion I could do is stand in the box. I couldn't.
He's Shohei Ohtani, man, with his mega deal and all that he's done and kind of paved the way for two-way guys at the next level.
メジャーリーグで活躍する元二刀流の選手たちが、それぞれのインタビューで、大谷翔平選手についてこのように語っていました。メッツのエース格として急成長を遂げているノーラン・マクリーン選手は、オクラホマ州立大学時代にカウボーイ・オオタニと呼ばれた本物の二刀流、メジャー屈指の剛腕、ポール・スキーンズ選手も、大学時代までは投打両方をこなしていた選手です。そしてロイヤルズの若き才能ジャック・カグリオーン選手はフロリダ大学で500フィート弾を打ち、えぐいスピードで投げる次の翔平として今もプロで二刀流の挑戦を続けています。しかしここで一つの問いが浮かびます。なぜ二刀流に挑戦した選手たちが口を揃えて大谷選手のことを信じられない、別格と語るのでしょうか。これはファンの称賛とは違います。実際に同じ道を歩もうとした選手だからこそ見える景色がある。実際に挑んでみて、そしてこれは無理だと痛感させられた者だけが知る大谷選手の本当の凄さがあるのです。今回はそんな元二刀流選手と同じ道に挑む若き二刀流たち、そして大谷選手と直接対峙したトップ投手の証言を通して大谷翔平という存在の規格外さを紐解いていきます。まずは二刀流を諦めた選手たちの話からです。投打の両立は可能か。この問いに最も説得力のある答えを返せるのは実際に挑戦してそして諦めた選手たちです。ノーラン・マクリーン選手はメッツ傘下の有望株として WA まで二刀流を続けていました。オクラホマ州立大学時代には大学で本塁打36本、打率5割を記録した実力からカウボーイ・大谷というニックネームまで付けられた本物の二刀流選手です。ではご覧ください。
On your baseball reference, you have quite the nickname. Do you know what it is?
Nah.
Do you guys know? Have you seen?
No idea.
It's the
Cowboy Ohtani.
The Cowboy Ohtani.
Yeah, see, I don't love that either.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, like
That's
nobody in the clubhouse is gonna call me that. Like,
I'm gonna start
who's this PO? Like claiming Ohtani? Like, to be fair, what difference does that guy hit 60 home runs a year and
That's
just pitching?
Yeah. That is a tough one to live up to.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. You were pitching and hitting all the way up to AA, and now how difficult was that to give it up? But how important was it for you to make a decision?
Yeah, it was definitely tough, especially on the body. Like right around the middle of the season. It was my first full season starting as a starting pitcher as well, so that was an adjustment on top of trying to get at bats 5 days a week was another adjustment. And just by the All-Star break, my legs were shot, and I just talked to some of our guys, and I was just like, hey, I think I need to just try pitching. It might not be permanent, but I think this is the best route for me for right now.
I mean, the obvious is
feel better and better.
When you see Shohei do this, how do you just marvel? How does he do this?
It's spectacular. I mean, it's unbelievable that he's able to be that good on both sides of the ball. Because I mean, not only like were my legs shot pitching, like in the box, like I mean, when you play every single day, like your legs are toast sometimes when you get in the box. So the ability for him to be as consistent as he is remarkable.
足が完全にクタクタになったというマクリーン選手の言葉はテレビ画面の向こうでは決して伝わらない二刀流という挑戦の生々しいリアルを映し出しています。そしてここで物語は意外な展開を迎えます。足がクタクタになったと語ったマクリーン選手は2025年8月にメッツでメジャーデビューを果たし、瞬く間にチームのエース格へと駆け上がります。そして2026年4月、ついに彼は画面の向こうで見ていた大谷選手と直接対峙する日を迎えました。カウボーイ大谷と呼ばれていた男が本物の大谷と相対する。その瞬間、何が起きたのでしょうか。ではご覧ください。
I talked to McClain about facing Ohtani, and he kind of told me how he was going to approach him. Did a little bit of that.
But that guy's in a league of his own with what he's doing. But I think, like, he's one of those guys that you really have to beat him in zone. It's kind of like Schwarber. Like, you have to beat him in zone. Like, but at the same time, they can damage you at any time. So I think with Ohtani, you really have to establish the inside part of the plate on him.
So maybe like something to come back, maybe front hip him.
Yeah, maybe late. If you can get him to chase early, then something late to where he would take it for a strike. But anytime he can get it extended, it's pretty special. So I think if you can tie him up the best you can.
かつて大谷選手の二刀流について並外れていると語っていたマクリーン青年が、今や大谷選手をスイーパーで困惑させる投手になっている。それでも画面の向こうの大谷はまだ別格のままなのです。そしてマクリーン選手と同じく二刀流の道を諦めた選手がもう一人います。ジャイアンツのプロスペクトとして投打両方で大きな期待を寄せられていたレジ・クロフォード選手です。彼もまた最終的に投手一本に絞ることを決断した一人。その決断の背景には二刀流選手だけが知る日々の負担がありました。ではご覧ください。
What's been the biggest difference of just concentrating on pitching? What have you learned?
I think for me, it's just, the workload isn't as extreme. I'm able to really hone in and focus on, the agenda and what the plan is for catch play and stuff like that, the bullpens. And there's just a lot less running around. When I was doing both, I need to be here for ground balls, here for swings, here for catch play, here for my bullpen. So it's definitely, again, lighter on the workload. So a lot of my focus and attention is catering towards that.
Well, you brought up the word attention. I mean, Shohei Ohtani has put attention like a beaming light on the two-way player. It's not like he's the first one ever, but yourself were a two-way player. So tell me about what kind of hitter you were.
I would just say across the board, I was raw, I think just my whole baseball career, a lot of it really started late for me. And, just the way it's kind of worked the past couple of years with the TJ and stuff, missed out on a lot of like crucial at bats just in a time to where it was definitely important to get those. And same on the mound. But there was a point in time where, I got some of the question marks answered in terms of, where my hitting was at in pro ball. And, I sat myself down and I was like, all right, do I sacrifice time to get back to a spot in the box where I feel comfortable, or do I put the bat down and, completely sell out? Knowing that even when you're comfortable to plate, it's still hitting. There's a lot of variables that go into it. And it's like, all right, if I have this one thing that I've seen a decent amount of success with and very little time given to it, the thought of what could that even look like if I cater all my time towards that, it was definitely an attractive thing to me.
2人の選手に共通するのは、二刀流をやめたら心身に余裕ができたという告白です。逆に言えば二刀流とはそれだけ心身を削る挑戦なのです。そして大谷選手はその削り続ける挑戦をもう何年も続けています。しかもただ続けているだけではありません。2025年シーズンには4度目の MVP を獲得し、史上初となる1試合3本塁打10奪三振をプレーオフの大舞台で達成。チームをワールドシリーズ連覇に導きました。足がくたくたになったと語る選手たちが画面の向こうで繰り広げる大谷選手のプレーを一体どんな思いで見つめているのでしょうか。そして次の章ではその努力の正体に迫った元二刀流選手たちの言葉を見ていきましょう。ここで登場するのはマイケル・ロレンゼン選手です。彼自身メジャーリーグで投手と外野手の二刀流に挑戦した経験を持つ選手だからこそ、表面的な称賛ではなく、なぜ大谷選手はそれができるのかという確信に踏み込んでいます。ロレンゼン選手が語る大谷像は世間が思い描く天才とは全く違うものでした。ではご覧ください。
Workout in 4 hours or 5 hours before the game, and this is an everyday thing for you, right? When you see a guy like Shohei that can pitch at the highest level possible and then still hit 40 home runs, what do you think about that?
It's insane. I see the stuff that he does pitching wise, and he's very in depth. That's one thing about Shohei. It's not just talent. He knows how to create it. So a lot of people, they're just better than everyone, if that makes sense. And it's just they were always that way. They worked a little bit for it, but they were just always gifted. He works for everything, and so that's why I respect him so much. He knows all the data with his pitches. He knows the shapes. He knows what he's trying to do. He knows how the pitcher is going to attack him. He knows his swing in and out. He knows his delivery in and out. So it's pretty special to be that in depth and that in tune with his body, both on the mound and in the box. It's definitely not just talent. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
単なる才能じゃない。この一言の重みを最も理解しているのが二刀流に挑んだ経験を持つロレンゼン選手自身でしょう。私たちはつい大谷選手の活躍を規格外の才能という言葉で片付けてしまいがちです。しかし実際に同じ土俵に立った人間が見ているのは才能ではなく、その裏側にある全てを理解しようとする徹底した努力なのです。そしてもう一人、大谷選手の努力の正体を近くで見続けてきた元二刀流選手がいます。ジャレット・ウォルシュ選手。エンゼルスで複数年にわたり大谷選手のチームメイトとしてプレーし、自らも2021年にはメジャーで投手として登板した経験を持つ本物の二刀流選手です。そんな彼が大谷選手のロッカールームでの姿を語っています。ではご覧ください。
I'd say with all of them, it's just the consistency within the routine. They're not jumping from one thing to another. They know what it takes to be good. They come in and do their work every day and trust in their work. It's pretty simple. I mean, they have the talent, but they harness it. Shohei, he's kind of in uncharted territory with the pitching and the hitting, but he's got it down to a science. He's tracking exit velo and every bullpen, he's got Edgertronic, that kind of stuff on it. So using the resources, but being consistent with the work every day is a must.
ルーティンにおける一貫性、そして科学的に実践。ロレンゼン選手がデータを全て理解しているといったその中身を、ウォルシュ選手は実際に隣で見てきた目撃者として具体的に明かしてくれます。打球速度の追跡、ブルペンでの投球分析システムの活用、これらは決して天才のひらめきではなく、超一流のアスリートが日々積み重ねている地道な作業なのです。目移りしない、自信を持っている、シンプルというウォルシュ選手の言葉からは、大谷選手の本当の強さが派手なスーパープレーではなく、毎日同じことをブレずに続ける力にあることが伝わってきます。そしてその努力は対戦相手の投手たちにも同じように畏敬の念を抱かせています。次に登場するのは現在のメジャーリーグで最も注目される若き右腕、ポール・スキーンズ選手。彼が語る大谷との対戦とはどんなものなのでしょうか。
As far as like full-time DH, you have to look at Ohtani, and is there any part of you that says, I could do maybe a portion of that? I could be a hitter and I could be a pitcher.
I mean, the portion I could do is stand in the box. I couldn't.
I think you're
like
being humble. If I look at what you did when you were in college, you could hit.
Yeah, that was also, I mean, the Mountain West is great. I hit a little bit like the Mountain West, and I mean even the SEC, and then obviously the big leagues. They're very different things. So I'm good. I'm good with what I'm doing right now. I haven't picked up a bat in 2 years.
Do you like going against those guys?
It's cool.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
do you like the challenge of best first? Well, I don't know if you were saying you're the best, but you're. I mean, you're right there. Is the best against best? Is that exciting?
Yeah. And I gave up a home run to Ohtani early in the year. And they asked me about a post game, and I was just like, yeah, it's big on big. That's how I think about it. It's
what was the pitch?
Fastball.
Oh,
I'm going to get beat at my best. He's going to, he's going to do what he will with it. There's always the risk when you, when you face anybody, but especially those guys.
How fast was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was hard. I think it was a 3-2 fastball up in the zone. We'd shown him too many fastballs already, but it's what happens. It's the game.
Yeah. I mean, if he couldn't have caught up with it and struck out, that'd be cool too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But he won that one.
Yeah, stuff happens. And so guys are talking about how they, miss him. They love playing with him, that kind of thing. And I never got a, personal, relationship with him or anything, but kind of what I said about the brotherhood of baseball, like it is cool to be playing against some of these guys. You see Ohtani and he tips his cap, that kind of thing before every at bat. There's just some mutual respect there. And who knows, like these guys could get traded to the Pirates. Guys could get traded away from the Pirates, and we're playing against them, and that kind of thing. And you play the game for long enough, you play for different teams, that kind of thing. You get around a lot of different people, and it really does make it even more of a brotherhood.
Is there one game in particular that you came to that stands out for you?
So I don't have a good memory, but I did come to Ohtani's home opener when he pitched his first home start. It was against the A's when Matt Chapman was there, so I think we got tickets from him because he's an El Toro guy. It was like 7 no-hit innings or something like that. Came back a couple days later, sitting in right field, and he hit a ball probably like 470 over our heads in right field. So those are the two things that I remember most, but a lot of games I've been here.
Was that the point of your baseball journey when you were thinking about, you'll maybe face him one day, or was that too early for that?
Yeah, I mean, that didn't really happen. I mean, I remember a game when I was at Air Force, when I was in Coors Field, and that was like the first time really. So, I mean, that was when we were in high school. I was a fan. Obviously came here, for a game before the draft, and at that point it was like, all right, here we go. Not necessarily scouting or anything like that, but that was it was a relatively recent thing for me when I realized that, like, maybe I can play on the field with these guys, and now I'm here. It's pretty cool.
かつてライトスタンドから大谷選手の特大ホームランを見上げていた一人の少年が、今は同じグラウンドに立ち、その大谷選手と最高対最高の勝負を繰り広げている。これほどドラマチックな話があるでしょうか。スキーンズ選手の言葉からは、対戦相手としての敬意とファンだった時の純粋な憧れが混ざり合って溢れ出ているように感じます。そしてこのスキーンズ選手のように大谷選手の背中を追いかける若き才能たちは今や世界中に広がっています。最後の章ではその次世代の二刀流と呼ばれる選手たちの言葉から大谷選手が野球界に残した本当の意味を見ていきましょう。次の翔平、アメリカの大谷、そう呼ばれる若手選手がメジャーリーグの周辺で続々と現れています。その代表格がフロリダ大学からロイヤルズ入りしたジャック・カグリオーン選手とジャイアンツのトッププロスペクトであるブライス・エルドリッジ選手です。2人とも大谷選手という存在を意識しながら自分自身の二刀流の道を模索しています。まずはジャック・カグリオーン選手が大谷との比較について語った言葉からです。ではご覧ください。
Jack, I'm gonna get straight into it. Ohtani comparisons. You've heard them over and over again. I'm not gonna put Shohei Ohtani on you, but I don't think it's wild to think that you are in the realm of that at some point in your career. Tell me what you think about hearing about being compared to Shohei Ohtani, and is that something like you embrace or you kind of throw it out the window? What's the thought process there?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of be compared to somebody of that stature has always kind of been really cool.
Yeah.
There are a lot of two-way guys, in high school and college and stuff like that. And honestly, really any comparison to him is always kind of cool. It's great, with the nicknames and all that type of stuff. It's always been really interesting and fun to me, especially,
Jack Ohtani.
He's Shohei Ohtani, man, with his mega deal and all that he's done and kind of paved the way for two-way guys at the next level. It's something I take a lot of pride in, so it's always really cool.
That's cool, man. And the two-way thing, you mentioned it too, is like it's something that seems to be a little bit on the rise. Obviously, he's done it to the best of anybody, right? But at the same time, I'm interested to know, is that something that you want to try to continue to do as long as possible? Is there something that you want to focus on moving forward, or is it something you want to like, hey, let me take this as long as it can go?
Yeah, I mean, my goal from the jump's always kind of been to continue to do a two-way. I just felt that I've been able to handle it at the college level with classes and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So being at the next level with, no school or anything like that and kind of focus more on both sides of the ball and, that's your job.
Right.
Is pitching out of the equation? Because I know they were calling you Jack Ohtani, dude, and they're basically saying this is the next Shohei right here. You're hitting 500-foot bombs, you're throwing cheese. Don't answer this if this is going to put you in a weird situation.
I'm not going to say it's completely out of the equation at all, but it's one of those things where going in your first big league spring training, you just kind of need to focus on one thing, is what they've told me. So not too entirely sure what that's going to be at the moment, but for me personally, I've still been playing long tossing and throwing my change ups and cutter just in case, just to be ready. Whenever
absolutely.
They're like, hey, you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this one.
いつでも対応できるように、カグリオーン選手のこの言葉には、大谷選手が切り開いた道を自分も歩めるかもしれないという確かな希望が宿っています。そしてそんな次世代の二刀流のもう一人の代表格がアメリカの大谷と呼ばれる存在、ジャイアンツのブライス・エルドリッジ選手です。身長6フィート7インチ、約201センチの巨漢で、2023年ドラフトでジャイアンツから1巡目16位指名。もともとは投打両方で全米トップクラスのプロスペクトと評価されていた選手で、2025年9月には念願のメジャーデビューも果たしました。そんなエルドリッジ選手が大谷選手について語った言葉をご覧ください。
Continuing to be a two-way player in the mold of, say, someone like Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I mean, Shohei has completely changed the game. You got guys out here who, their dreams of being a two-way are, now possible when, say 5 years ago they weren't. I'm really excited that he's changed the game for, not just the people who are in the pros already, but for high school guys and younger guys. Now they have something to look forward to, and they have a dream that they can go out and accomplish, and he showed that it's possible.
Bryce, my father always used to say to me, because I pitched a little bit in high school, and he always used to say to me, if you don't truly love being on the mound, competing like that one-on-one battle, then you should get off it, right? So I didn't truly love it, so I love to hit. I was trying to take guys like you deep, and that got me going. So my thing is like, I know you do two things, but where's your passion? Do you feel better shooting somebody or blowing a heater by somebody?
That's something that I get asked a lot.
Yeah.
I've been doing both since I was little, obviously. I have a love for both. So I couldn't really tell you. I couldn't tell you I have a passion for one, and being fully honest, but I like telling people whatever I'm best at that day is what I like more. So, definitely both of them have their perks. But I've loved doing both.
It's been a bit of a small sample size for Shohei Ohtani. We're at a couple of years where he's done both at a high level. Do you feel like it's sustainable year after year over 162?
Oh yeah, I mean he's been doing it for at least the past 2 years. I know he had a couple injuries before, but he's going to keep doing it, and then you're going to see guys come in who are doing the two-way thing as well, and they're going to keep doing it. So I think it's definitely sustainable. If you have the work ethic to, get both done. It's a long day doing both, hitting, pitching, fielding stuff. So if you're willing to get that work done, then I think you'll see a lot of success in the bigs in the future.
Hey, Bryce, I remember you coming into the draft. You were kind of like the high school version of this year, Jack Caglione, and you were pitching and hitting, and now you've stopped pitching. I asked you before we came on, do you miss it? What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, definitely miss it. At this point in time, I feel like my body doesn't miss it as much. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I was definitely interested in going into the draft, and obviously it didn't play out that way. And I think we're just going to play to my strengths there, and I think that's the bat. And we're just going to keep moving forward there and trying to get to the big leagues as soon as possible.
Two-way players, no joke with the workload on your body physically. Any concerns there, and just being compared to Ohtani, what that means?
Yeah, not a bad comparison right there. I don't feel any pressure that comes with that. I mean, I want to do my own thing, but just being able to watch him and see what he's done, pitching and hitting, it's definitely motivating for someone like me and someone like Reggie or whoever else is wanting to get to that level he's at. It's pretty cool. And I know the workload's a lot, but if you have a passion for it, go ahead and do it. Go and get that work done. And it's something that I've done my whole life, is working on my pitching, switching over, taking a little 5-10 minute break in the gym, and then going over doing the hitting stuff, and then the lifting. It's a lot, but yeah, you got a passion for it. There should be no trouble.
自分は自分の道を行きたい。でも彼を見て学ぶことは多い。エルドリッジ選手のこの言葉が示す通り、 大谷選手は単なる真似すべき手本ではなく、若き才能たちが自分自身の道を見つけるための指針となっているのです。そして第1章にも登場した元二刀流のレジクロフォード選手も大谷選手のことを自分にとっての模範として強く意識していると語っています。彼の言葉には二刀流の道を諦めた人間だからこそ持てる特別な敬意が込められていました。
You've probably heard this a million times, but like seeing how Shohei balances it, right? Like he's probably very regimented, and he has his, his days for this, hours for this, whatever. Like he's all baseball. I think maybe you could use his model. I don't know what his model is, but as a way to like, have you thought about that? Like with Shohei's model?
Yeah, I want to like find a way to like talk to him.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, obviously he's an animal, and like he's definitely doing stuff that like not many people know of, and I would love to know like what his regimen is, like what he's doing so that he's able to maintain that, because I mean it's difficult because it's not sustainable for a lot of people, and obviously he's a big guy and he's very gifted, but there's more that goes into it, which is why I'm gonna try to do research on to figure out how I could like kind of get an inside scoop, like what he's doing.
So
it's
sick.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's like it's so cool. He's really paving the way for two ways, because before him it's like I feel like people weren't really open-minded about it, because it's like how many guys have done it, and still how many guys have done it, but he's able to not just do it, but he's doing it at like an MVP level, so that's what's really cool about it. So I mean, thank God for him for paving the way, but he is showing that it really can be done.
Is Ohtani actually your favorite player, Reggie? Like if you had to write it down on a card, like who's your favorite player? Is it Ohtani because of the similarities?
It is Ohtani, and he's just like he's really good for the sport. It's like you would see that guy everywhere, which is really important for baseball, because I know so many people that don't even know baseball, but like they just know the name Shohei Ohtani. So just what he's doing as a whole, from a player standpoint, and then just that other piece of it, it's just unbelievable. So it's hard not for him not to be my favorite player.
彼のおかげで二刀流は不可能ではないということが証明されました。二刀流の道を諦めた選手の口から発せられたこの言葉ほど、大谷選手の偉業の本当の意味を語るものはないでしょう。不可能ではないと証明された道を今カグリオーン選手やエルドリッジ選手のような若き才能たちが歩み始めています。そしてその先頭を走り続ける大谷選手は2025年シーズンに4度目の MVP とワールドシリーズ連覇を達成し、2026年シーズンも投打二刀流でプレーを続けています。今回登場した選手たちの証言に全て共通していたのは、表面的な称賛ではなく、自分自身の経験を通して大谷選手を別格だと認めている点でした。個人的に印象的だったのは、大谷選手のことを語っていたのが二刀流を諦めた選手たちだったことでした。実際に挑戦してその険しさを誰よりも知っている選手だからこそ、大谷選手の凄さが本物として伝わってくる。そんな証言の重みが今回の動画全体に深みを与えていたように感じます。日本から生まれた一人の選手がメジャーリーグの常識を完全に塗り替え、世界中の若き才能たちに二刀流という夢を与えている。これほどの誇りはありません。皆さんは今回登場した選手たちの中で誰の証言が最も大谷選手の凄さを物語っていると感じましたか？ぜひコメント欄で教えてください。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。この動画が良かったと思っていただけましたら、ぜひ高評価とチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。